You know, I've lived through some down markets, I've lived through some up markets, but I'll tell you what, things are great here in the Canyon City market area, which includes obviously Florence, Penrose, and outlying areas, rural region. It's great. Things have been good across the country. But I thought you might like some local stats, because everybody's always asking me, you know, hey, Kurt, how's the market? And I think it's because they want to know, I wonder what my house is worth. I wonder if the value of my house has gone up. Well, it probably has. The interesting trend, after doing this for 40 years, I've never seen a market like we've had in the last 5 years. You know, we started in 07, about that, with kind of a crash, you know, where the market started going downhill, and it really went. And by the time we got to the middle of 2012, into 2012, we were down in the belly of the market. And we were struggling. Everybody was struggling. And then it started to change. 2013, it started changing a little bit. 14 got a little bit better. And all of a sudden, things started heading up the hill. And this market really grew fast. And in fact, it grew so much, you know, values went up. Understanding why values go up, though, is kind of interesting. You know, it's the old thing they talk about, you know, supply versus demand. You know, if there's only 6 eggs left in the store and everybody's after them, you can get $10 an egg. But, you know, if they've got an overrun, you can maybe, you know, you'd have to pay maybe 50 cents to get a whole box of them. Same thing in real estate. So, in fact, let me give you some statistics. In 2015, the average sales price in our market was $163,000. In 2016, it went up by 13.7%. If you look at this chart we're showing you here, in 2017, it went up another 6.8% to 197, almost 198. And in 2018, that we just came out of, look at that, another almost 13%, it went up again. So in 3 years, we've been averaging about 10% per year. Now, if you haven't had your home appraised or haven't had, you know, a broker come by and look at your home to tell you what it's worth in the last 3 or 4 years, you ought to do that, because I think you'll be surprised, pleasantly surprised at how it's gone up. Let's take a look at another thing. Let's talk about why this happens real quickly. If you look at this chart here, you know, the number of listings that have sold. And you can see this trend starting to change. And that's what I want to talk to you about a little bit real quick. If you look at 2015, we sold about 1,000 homes. In 16, 1,034, 17, 1,069. You can see it going uphill, 3% a year, 3% a year, more homes selling. But look at 2018. This is what we call a market shift starting to take place. And you'll see that we went all the way down to 920 homes for sale in the market. Why is that? Because we ran out of houses. That's why. Across the state, we ran out of houses. And so here's what happens. If you look at this chart about inventory, they say a good market has 6 months of inventory. So if you have enough houses on the market, let's say you're selling 5 homes a month, and 6 months of inventory would be how many? 5 times 6 would be 30 months, 30 homes. If you have 30 homes in the market, you're healthy. But here's what's happened to our market. If you look at in 2015, we had a healthy market. It was still really good. In 16, inventory levels went way down because nobody's building. In 17, it went way down again. And so what happens when that goes down? This goes up. So that's how prices are driven. Now, if you look back at this chart on inventory, what happened in 18? Inventory is starting to go back up again. The market is shifting and changing, just about like most of the economists predicted. By the end of this year, I believe prices will start to soften a little bit. And in 2020, I think we'll see them probably flatten out, and maybe even just a little tick of depreciation next year. That could happen. It's natural. It's common. It's just a regular market adjustment. So be prepared for that. I guess the advice from this I would take is if you were ever thinking of selling your house, this is the year to do it. This would be the year to do it. I can't tell you what 2021 is going to look like in 2 years, but we're pretty sure what next year is, and that'll probably be down a little bit. So if you're really thinking about doing it, this would probably be the time to do it. You ought to at least find out. Yeah, call us. We'd love to come help you figure out what it's worth. We'll do a complete market analysis with all the details and all the stats, and you'll have a really good feel for what your home's worth.